Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in life when all our efforts, all our plans, and all our striving seem to hit a wall. We exhaust ourselves trying to force outcomes, trying to control every detail, and still we find ourselves frustrated, anxious, and often deeply disappointed. Why? Because we hold on too tightly. We believe we are the architects of every aspect of our lives. But what if I told you that there is incredible power in letting go? That the moment you release your grip and trust in a higher power, trust in God, you allow miracles to happen? You see, letting go does not mean giving up. It means stepping aside and making room for something greater than yourself to take control. Trusting God means recognizing that you were never meant to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. There is a divine intelligence at work, one that is far more loving, far more knowing, and far more capable than you could ever imagine. Think about the most beautiful things in life. The rising of the sun, the blooming of flowers, the rhythm of the tides. None of these forces are striving. None of them are struggling. They simply allow themselves to follow their natural course, guided by the invisible hand of creation. Your life, too, is part of that magnificent order. Yet we resist. We cling to worry, to doubt, to fear, believing we have to fix everything on our own. But trust me, the tighter you hold on, the more you suffocate the blessings that are trying to reach you. Letting go is an act of faith. It's saying, I trust you, God, to lead me where I need to go. I release my fears. I release my need for control. I surrender my timeline to your perfect timing. And when you do that, when you truly let go, you'll find peace. You'll find that doors open effortlessly. Relationships heal. Opportunities arise. Not because you forced them, but because you allowed them. Ask yourself today, what am I holding on to that I need to release? What fear, what expectation, what problem am I gripping so tightly that I'm keeping God's hand from moving in my life? Letting go is freedom. Trusting God is power. Together they will transform you, uplift you, and guide you to the life you were always meant to live. The time has come to stop fighting, stop striving, and start believing. Release the burdens you've been carrying. Let go and let God lead the way. Letting go is not about defeat, it is the courageous choice to surrender your battles to God. It means you trust a power greater than yourself to guide the process. Defeat happens when you give in to fear, but faith ensures you're still in motion. By releasing control, you step into God's divine order. You are not losing, you are rising higher through trust. Trusting God means recognizing His wisdom surpasses your understanding. When you release control, you invite a higher intelligence to take charge of your journey. Worry clouds your vision, but faith clears the path. Letting go is a declaration that God is capable and willing to lead you where you need to be. His wisdom is far greater than your striving. Fear is a weight that holds you hostage, keeping you from moving forward. When you release fear, you allow peace to flood your spirit like sunlight breaking through the clouds. Fear magnifies problems, but peace reassures you that God is working behind the scenes. To let go is to say, I trust in what I cannot yet see. Peace comes when you give God the space to work. God never leaves you, even in the moments when you feel alone. Trusting Him is knowing that His presence surrounds you, even in your silence or struggle. Let go of the thought that you have to navigate everything on your own. The unseen hand of God holds you up when life feels too heavy. He is your greatest companion on the journey of surrender. Holding on to plans and outcomes too tightly limits your blessings. When you grip something too hard, you shut the door to new possibilities. Letting go is not losing control, it's handing over the controls to someone greater. God's plans often exceed anything you could have designed yourself. Give yourself permission to receive what He is waiting to give. When you trust, you open the channels for blessings to flow into your life. Faith opens doors that force cannot. You cannot grab what God has for you if you're too busy holding on to what no longer serves you. Trust allows new answers, ideas, and opportunities to unfold naturally. The more you release, the more room you create to receive. Your timeline is not God's timeline. and that is perfectly okay. Trust that the delays are not denials, but divine preparation. While you wait, God is shaping you for what He has planned. By letting go of rigid timelines, you invite His perfect timing to bring your desires to fruition. Sometimes the wait itself is the blessing. Striving stems from the belief that everything depends on you, but surrender comes from knowing that God has a better way. Stress grows when we force outcomes, but peace blooms when we allow trust to take the lead. Instead of overworking your plans, allow room for God to guide them. Letting go frees you from the chaos of striving. Rest in God's strength and watch Him bring clarity. Worry does not solve the problem, it only drains your spirit of hope and energy. Trust shifts your focus from the problem to the one who has the solution. By holding on to worry, you hold on to an illusion of control. When you let it go, you begin to see answers unfolding before you. Faith does what worry could never accomplish. You cannot steer the ship and let God lead at the same time. Holding the wheel tightly while calling on Him creates confusion. Trust requires that you step back, remove your hands, and let Him guide the way. God knows the waters ahead far better than you do. By letting go, you allow Him to take you where you truly belong. The how is none of your business, it is God's business. Letting go means trusting that He already knows how everything will work out. The how creates anxiety, but faith calls you to focus on trusting God's process. You don't need to see every step to take the next one. Let Him reveal each piece of the puzzle as it unfolds. Fear closes the doors of opportunity, faith pushes them open. When you hold on to fear, you say no to the possibilities God has prepared for you. Faith allows you to walk into the unknown with confidence that you are protected. The tighter you hold fear, the heavier your steps become. Letting go of fear lightens your spirit and strengthens your journey. You cannot fix everything on your own because you were never meant to. Letting go of the fix-it mentality frees you from carrying burdens you were not designed to hold. Trusting God allows you to do your part and leave the rest to Him. It is surrendering the problem while holding on to His promises. By releasing control, you allow solutions to arise naturally. God's plan for you is greater than what you have envisioned for yourself. By letting go, you trust that what He has prepared is far beyond what you can comprehend. When we hold on to our limited plans, we block the extraordinary. Release your grip, knowing He has the answers you didn't even know you needed. His ways are always higher and better. Letting go creates space for unexpected blessings to enter your life. When you stop forcing outcomes, you allow the miracles waiting on the other side to come through. Miracles happen when you trust enough to step back and allow God to work. What feels like surrender is actually the beginning of divine transformation. The blessings are always there, let them in. Fear traps you in a cycle of doubt, but trust sets you free. When you choose to release fear, you break its hold over your mind and spirit. Fear whispers lies about failure and loss, but faith speaks truth about God's power and love. Letting go of fear opens you to the possibilities beyond your current struggles. Freedom begins with trust. Control is an illusion that creates chaos in your life. Letting go is choosing to believe in the divine order that is always at work. When you release control, you invite peace and purpose to take over. By trusting God, you let go of the need to manipulate outcomes. Life becomes clearer when you stop forcing it and let it flow. You cannot receive new blessings with hands that are full of old burdens. Letting go means releasing the weight you're holding so you can receive what God has for you. Sometimes we cling to things that were never meant for us. Open your hands, open your heart, and let God fill them with His gifts. The blessings will come when you are ready to hold them. Trusting God doesn't mean you do nothing, it means you do what you can and leave the rest to Him. You still take action, but your actions are guided by faith, not anxiety. You plant the seeds, but you trust God to bring the harvest. By letting go of the need to control the outcome, you live in peace and expectation. Faith completes what human effort cannot. The what-ifs of life create worry and drain you of hope. Letting go means turning your focus from fear of the unknown to trust in God's plan. When you surrender, you shift from questioning what if this fails to what if God brings something better. Faith creates possibilities where fear sees none. Trust replaces doubt with the assurance of his promises. Patience is part of trusting God. Letting go means understanding that God's timing is never rushed and never late. His plans unfold at the perfect moment, even if it feels slow to us. By waiting in faith, you grow stronger in spirit and clearer in purpose. Surrender to the process and let God's timing bring the best into your life. Anxiety grows when you try to control everything, but peace comes when you let go. Trusting God allows you to release the unnecessary weight of worry. It is a conscious decision to believe that God is working for your good. When you stop holding on so tightly, you will find the rest and clarity you've been longing for. Peace comes with surrender. The burdens you carry are too heavy for you alone, but they are not too heavy for God. He invites you to lay your struggles at his feet and trust him to carry them. Letting go is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is recognizing that you cannot do everything, but God can. Trust him to carry what you cannot bear. God's ways do not always make sense in the moment, but they always lead to something greater. Letting go means trusting that his plan is unfolding perfectly, even when you can't see it yet. What feels like loss now may be preparation for an incredible gain. Faith reminds you that God sees the full picture. Trust the process even when it feels unclear. Surrender is not weakness, but the ultimate expression of strength and trust. When you let go, you acknowledge that your power has limits, but God's does not. It is in surrender that you find freedom from stress and anxiety. By trusting God, you allow him to step in where you cannot. Strength is found in the humility of handing it over. Trust shifts your focus from problems to possibilities. When you let go of a situation and trust God, you begin to see opportunities that were hidden before. Worry blinds you, but faith opens your eyes to solutions. God has the ability to turn obstacles into stepping stones. Letting go allows you to see what he is building from your struggle. Fear and resentment act like chains that hold you back from progress. Letting go of these negative emotions frees you to move forward with clarity and purpose. By holding on to resentment, you harm yourself, not the situation. When you release it to God, you open yourself to healing and growth. Freedom comes when you no longer let pain define you. God has never failed you, and he won't start now. Trusting him means reflecting on his past faithfulness and resting in that truth. When you look back, you will see moments where God carried you through when you couldn't see a way forward. Letting go is saying, I trust you because you have always been there. His record is flawless. Challenges are not punishments, they are opportunities for growth. Letting go of the belief that every hardship is a setback allows you to see God's purpose in your struggles. When you trust him, you understand that he is using even your pain to shape you. Faith transforms your trials into tools for transformation. Trust is seeing purpose in the unseen. Fear doubts God's ability to handle what you are facing. Faith, however, reminds you that nothing is beyond his reach. When you let go of fear, you begin to experience the peace of trusting his power. Fear whispers that you are alone, but faith shouts that God is in control. Trust replaces doubt with a confidence that cannot be shaken. Letting go is not giving up, it is giving over. You are not quitting, you are allowing God to take the lead. When you release your plans and your struggles to him, you are choosing faith over frustration. This act of trust invites his divine wisdom into your life. By letting go, you gain far more than you lose. The past is not meant to be carried into your future. Letting go of old hurts, failures, and disappointments is essential for what lies ahead. When you release the weight of the past, you create space for the new blessings God wants to give you. Trusting him means believing the future is brighter than what you've left behind. Your breakthrough begins with release. Control is exhausting because it demands more than you can give. Letting go means resting in the truth that God is in control and you don't have to be. You can do your best and trust him to handle the rest. Surrender brings peace because it takes the pressure off of you. Life becomes lighter when you stop trying to force outcomes. Letting go does not mean you are inactive, it means you are intentional. Trusting God requires that you do what is within your power while releasing the outcome to him. You take steps forward, but you do so without the stress of needing everything to be perfect. Trust is the balance between effort and surrender. It allows God to work while you rest in his promises. God's ways are always higher and clearer than your own. When you trust him, you let go of the need to figure everything out. His plans often look different from what you expect, but they are always better. Faith invites you to stop questioning and start believing. When you surrender your understanding, you allow God's wisdom to guide your life. Letting go of expectations allows life to surprise you. When you cling too tightly to specific outcomes, you limit what God can do. Trusting him means remaining open to unexpected blessings and answers. Sometimes the best moments come when you release your plans and embrace his. Faith allows you to live in joyful expectation of what is to come. Life is full of moments you cannot predict or control. Letting go means trusting that God knows the way forward, even when you cannot see it. Faith teaches you to walk step by step, allowing him to light your path. The more you let go, the more clearly you see his guidance. Trust replaces uncertainty with purpose. God's timing is rarely what we expect, but it is always perfect. Letting go of impatience allows you to rest in his timing and his plan. When you try to rush what is meant to unfold, you create stress for yourself. Trusting him means knowing that delays are part of his design. By waiting faithfully, you allow the best outcome to manifest. Anxiety thrives where trust is absent. Letting go means choosing trust over worry, even when life feels uncertain. When you give God your concerns, you allow him to bring you peace. Trust is a daily decision to let him carry what you cannot. Anxiety loses its grip when faith takes its place. There are burdens in life you were never meant to carry. Letting go of them means trusting that God's strength is sufficient where yours is not. You do not need to hold on to everything. His shoulders are strong enough to carry it all. By trusting him, you are freed from the weight that holds you back. Rest comes when you release what he has already claimed. Even when life doesn't make sense, trust that God is working all things together for good. Letting go of the need to understand everything allows peace to replace confusion. God sees the entire picture when you only see the pieces. Faith teaches you to trust his perspective and lean on his wisdom. The unknown becomes less frightening when you trust his plan. Letting go is the bridge between where you are and where God wants to take you. You cannot move forward if you keep clinging to what is behind you. Trust requires courage to step out of your comfort zone and embrace the unknown. By releasing the old, you make space for the new to take root. Growth begins when you choose trust over fear. The battle is not yours to fight alone. Letting go means placing your struggles into God's capable hands. When you trust him, you allow him to fight for you. You are not powerless, you are partnering with divine strength. Faith shifts the burden from your shoulders to God's, where it belongs. Letting go requires that you stop rehearsing negative outcomes. Fear focuses on the worst-case scenario, but trust expects the best. When you release your doubts, you make space for faith to take over. God's promises are always greater than your fears. Trusting him allows you to live with hope, not dread. God's vision for your life is far grander than your own. Letting go means surrendering your small plans to embrace his greater ones. You may not see the entire picture yet, but faith assures you that it is beautiful. By trusting him, you align yourself with a divine purpose. What you release in faith will return to you as fulfillment. When you let go and trust God, you allow him to take the lead in your life. It is no longer about striving, worrying, or forcing outcomes. It is about resting in his love. Trust is the foundation upon which peace and purpose are built. When you surrender, you give God permission to create something extraordinary. Letting go is the ultimate act of faith.